the champions, the Milwaukee Bucks.
I don't need the fame for the comes with the extras.
Nothing but net for Bobby.
I don't get tired, go hard, no question.
Bobby Portis, he is a competitor.
Oh, he's back, Bobby Portis. Okay, Bobby, look, here's the deal. Last time you were on, the beautiful art behind you, we never got time to really talk about it and look at it and think about it. Please take us through what we're looking
Beadle's
at.
been stuck on this picture since.
I've literally been thinking about it since, Bobby.
Yeah, so first and foremost, what's up, guys? How you guys doing, man? Good morning. Good morning, guys. You know, so this picture right here, man, I'll walk you guys through how this became a thing, right? So obviously, you know, Giannis, my teammate for 5 years, man. He's from Greece, right? And then, you know, we have this very, you know, artistic idea, you know, driven guy in Brook Lopez, who comes up with all these kind of crazy ideas that he has to come to fruition that he wants to, you know, to do. You know, he mentioned that he was going to do something like this. I kind of forgot about it. And then once the next season started, it was at my locker. You know what I'm saying? So,
he made it?
Wait, he didn't paint this?
He didn't paint it.
He didn't paint this. It was just his idea.
I think he had an artist painted up. Everybody that was on this picture, all the guys that was on there actually got their own version of this. So
this is so good, Lopez.
You know, Brook Lopez got us this after we won the championship in 2021.
Kind of amazing.
That's why what Ant-Man said last night about him being 23 on the runs, I didn't really agree with it, man. That's just me. Because the runs, man, you got to cherish your run with your team, bro. You gotta cherish your run with your team. It's hard making runs in the NBA. It's hard getting to the Western Conference Final, Eastern Conference Final. It's hard getting out the first round sometimes, right? You got guys in this league that's never even been to the.
I just said it, Bobby. I went once.
I've never been to the first round.
Yeah, that's about it.
So like it's hard winning in this league, man. So I did hear Ant-Man. I'm a big, first and foremost, I'm a big Ant-Man fan. That's like one of my favorite players in the league to watch. I went to the game Monday to catch him.
We saw you
OKC.
courtside. Yep.
Yeah, so I went to go watch him, you know, Monday. So I didn't really agree with that comment because, you know, being a player in the league, man, it's not easy just getting back to the Western Conference Finals, Eastern Conference Finals. Like we won a championship and we've been out the first round one time since then, right? So it's kind of hard to go on these runs with your team. So like once you get a good group, once you get a good team that can actually have a chance to win, you gotta cherish that run because, you know, you gotta maximize because you don't know if that run gonna, you know, continue to go on for years to come. Teams get better, guys get better in the league, and you know, it's the league just keeps going on and on.
I bet 7 years from now, when he'll be like, you know what? I was a little naive. I went twice in a row. I kind of get that being young is a beautiful thing because you just don't know yet how it's going to turn out. Okay, we had a debate yesterday, and it's kind of gone on for a minute now about the term superstar. We're trying to figure out how to define it. It turns out it's actually very difficult to define as a group what we're looking at when we talk about NBA superstars. So just off the top there, how do you look at it? How many are there, would you say, in the league right now?
NBA superstars, I would say there's a group of probably about maybe like 15 or 20 of them. Just like real like superstars, right?
Yeah.
You got to check all the boxes. You know, obviously you have to have the fanfare. You have to have the brand awareness. You have to have the popularity. You have to have the game that backs you being a superstar. You know, you have to have, you know, it's the leadership qualities. You have to have the swag in the intent to always to know how to empower your teammates, right? So all these things kind of go hand in hand with being a superstar. I play with two of those guys who kind of walk the walk and talk the talk at all times. So
can I ask you a question, Bobby?
Yes, sir.
You think it's 15 guys in the same class as Giannis?
Nah, it's probably about only.
It's not 15 to 20.
Some are grandfathered in.
That's like the James Hardens, Bobby, of the world. He's still a superstar, right? Even though he's not in his prime.
Can you lose your superstar title?
So, like, I was in Vegas over the weekend hanging out with my friends. We was at the crib, you know, we was just chilling in the backyard, shooting some hoops, just talking ball, right? And my friends was just, like, comparing players and eras and things like that. And two of the names that they brought up was like Shaq and Giannis, right? And I told them just straight from the jump, like those like two one-on-one players, right? Like you don't even say those guys' last name. You just say Shaq and you just say Giannis. Right, like you don't say their whole name because you automatically know who you're talking about, right? So like that's what kind of makes them who they are. They're unique, they're one-of-one type of players. So I wouldn't say people are on his level only because like you can't really duplicate what he does, but
those superstars. Now, do you have really
like
good players? Do you got all-stars?
Like,
yes, but when you talk about superstars, it's 5, 6 superstars.
5 is so few,
here's my thing.
5 is nothing.
Here's my thing.
Who's your pool? Obviously, you have Giannis, Jokic,
LeBron, Steph.
Kevin Durant's still a superstar.
We're already over 5. We're already over 5.
That's like
Jason Tatum is a superstar too.
Yes.
So that was fringe over here,
So we have budding.
We haven't even named the MVP. Is he a superstar?
We were talking about budding superstars, like that next crop of guys that are on their way to superstar status. Like some of these guys that are on these teams, when they come into town, ticket prices don't change. But if Giannis coming to town, that $200 seat you got, that's a $400 seat now. Bron coming to town, Steph Curry, et cetera, et cetera. That is superstar status. When you can change ticket prices, when somebody lay out their clothes to go see you play a game, that's superstar status. Some of these guys are really good players, really good all-stars, and they're on their way to superstar status, but they ain't made it.
But the OGs like Westbrook, Chris Paul, like they're still superstars, even though they're not in their prime, right?
Oh, so then, Bobby, what's Tyrese? What's Halliburton?
I don't really like comment on Halliburton at all. No, I'm just talking, but
I know.
I was gonna respect it.
But real talk, though, I gotta respect it though. You know, there's a huge difference from not liking a team or liking a person because of your own personal reasons, and then there's a huge thing with, you know, respecting a guy's talent for what it is and what he does to help his team win, right? Like in that regard, like he's a point guard like Chris Paul in a sense, to where like he controls the game in a different way. He makes it fun for his team to go out there and play. His team but has a different level of belief behind him that kind of helps him be great. So, you know, I don't just think it's all on him. That they got a hell of a team for real. Like when you think about how basketball is trending now, right? You have to have guys that have a live dribble. They can do something with a live dribble. Well, they have 8 or 9 of those guys that can do something with a live dribble. They can help get to the paint, make a play for somebody else, get an open shot or whatever it is. So I think his team kind of is perfect around his talent. So that kind of unlocks him for sure.
He's on the way.
So not yet.
He's on the way.
Just big star.
He's levels. He's definitely on the way.
But keep it real though, this playoff run has for sure put him in another realm of you know, player awareness for sure. Just you know,
a lot of people know who he is.
The type of shots he's made, the comebacks.
That's what makes these guys budding superstars. They're on the way.
Yeah.
Like when some of these guys clear all the way out, they're the next crop of superstar guys.
Bobby, let me ask you this. Sticking with the Pacers, unfortunately, I feel like everyone in the media has taken the other team in every series, especially Lou Will. What makes them?
Dang! Throw some shade at Lou real quick.
No, to keep it real, I didn't even hear what he said. So.
Don't.
I said every team has been writing off the Pacers all season long, including me, myself.
And especially Lou.
No, we patched that relationship up.
That's fair.
I'm good in the Indiana.
He's the mayor now of Indiana.
What makes them so good, Bobby? Like, how are they possibly going to the NBA Finals this year after such a slow start?
Man.
Because sometimes as a competitor, sometimes as a player, like when you look at their team, just being honest, like you're not really like giving them enough credit, right? You're like, you might look at their team, you might kind of just overlook them, like, oh, okay, cool. Aaron Nesmith, like, all right, I got him tonight. You know, Andrew Nembhard, okay, cool, I got him tonight. Until you get on the court with them, and then their energy just shift and be different, right? They picking you up full court, they turning you, they playing 10 guys, they playing a different style of ball that East Coast don't really play, right? They play West Coast ball in the East Coast, so it's a whole different type of feel when you get out there, like the Knicks, right? I was telling my guys before the series started that the Knicks could be in trouble only because they play 7, 8 guys, right? Sometimes 6 guys. Like, how can you play 6 to 7 guys against this type of team that's up and down ball? It doesn't matter if you score they not celebrating. They picking you back up full court. They back on your tail. They bringing T.J. McConnell in. He might get him a couple steals, get him 10 points real fast, change the tempo of the game. So I think that their playoff success is built off guys that's kind of just overlooking them and not giving them enough credit to start the season. I mean, to start the series. Sometimes you got to have that proper respect for all your opponents, and I don't think that sometimes guys have that proper respect for them. And then they sneak up on you, and then they go up 3-1, and then they close you out in 5.
Yeah. That's that.
Yep.
That's that on that. BP, I know we just touched on it, but you know you were in Minnesota and you caught some basketball. What you got going on in Minnesota? Because you called Link Storm. You tapping in on WNBA. What's going on in Minnie, man?
No, man, I'm just checking out all my guys, man. You know, I got a lot of tab. You know, I had a lot of you know, just player relationships with guys on OKC and Minnesota. Obviously, Jalen Williams and Isaiah Joe, they went to my college alma mater in Arkansas. Been knowing Julius Randle forever. You know, I've been knowing him since I was like 7, 8 years old, played ball against him.
Oh, wow.
Dante DiVincenzo was my teammate. He's actually on this picture as well. He's on that picture. He's on my championship team. Corliss Williamson, Big Nasty, that was my AAU coach growing up.
Oh, you got a lot
Arkansas.
of connections there.
Yeah,
I got a lot of connections over there, so I had to go support all my guys, just making it to the finals. It's always cool just to see your friend. I think one of the biggest things that goes unforeseen, that's not talked about enough in the league, is like we all play with one another since we're kids, and we grow up with one another, and we see each other grow, and we see these guys start to have families. I see these guys start to become all-stars, superstar, whatever it is. So it's kind of cool just to have that support system, and those guys do the same for me, and I show my flowers back to those guys. So it's always good to just always
some
support
WNBA action too.
Yeah, my mom, she's a huge advocate of the WNBA. I am as well. 2 of the best teams played. It was actually a great game as well. And it was just fun just watching basketball. I'm a big-time basketball fan, so it can be 2 NIA teams playing on TV, and that's the only thing going. I'm all in on it, man. I'm just hoping somebody give me a good show.
Bobby, let's talk about the Thunder a little bit. They obviously came out of the West last night. They're now in the NBA Finals. You guys beat them in December in the NBA Cup. What was the game plan going into that game to stop SGA and that whole team? Because you held them to 81 points. SGA, I think, only had 21 points. So whoever comes out of the East, give us the scouting report against the Thunder and how you guys beat them.
Yeah, man. So we had actually beat the Hawks to advance to the championship before that. They played Houston. They played after us in Vegas, and after we won and they won, I texted the group message straight up like, man, get the babies out the street. Straight up, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, get the kids out the street, man. Like, we grown men. Like, it's a one-game elimination. Like, these kids can't beat us in a one-game scenario, right? So it was kind of different for us in that regard because it's a one-game, winner-take-all. We've been in these moments before. We are battle-tested. We know what's to come, right? So, you know, I think that moment kind of made them better. When you kind of have a failure throughout the season, it kind of, you know, can take you either way. You can either, rebound from it and keep going, or you can, you know, let that affect your season. After I watched those guys after they lost that game, they went on a heater like 8, 9, 10 straight. And that kind of propelled it's the rest of their season, and they've been fun to watch just as a fan of basketball. You know, they have a great coach. Mike, he kind of gets the best out of all the guys. They kind of have a fun group that loves playing together. They're like an AAU team for real, man. They step out there and they just having fun. They get out the game, get on the mic, throw towels on people. They kicking it, man. They got a nice vibe, man. That's what you need to win a championship, man. You got to have a team. They got a nice vibe. They love playing for one another. It's hard to get 15 grown men that sometimes have different agendas other than winning to get on the same page to come together and do it. So they have the perfect group for it, and I'm rooting for them, man. Got 2 of my Arkansas guys on there. The Pacers make it. You know I'm not rooting for them, so you know who I'm rooting for.
So I want to ask you that. So it's probably going to be the Pacers. It could be the Knicks. Are you taking the Thunder regardless of who comes out of the East?
Yeah, man, they got the perfect story, man. Sometimes I think throughout the NBA season, you know, every year you kind of have a great sense of which team is, you know, has the highest chance to win or which team has the best chance to win. Obviously, You have to peak at the right time, and you have to have all guys playing basketball at a high level at the right time. And when I look at the Oklahoma City Thunder, you got a guy like Chet Holmgren who's taking his game to another level. You have a guy like Jalen Williams who's taking his game to another level. Watched him on Monday, just the shots he was making. Even when Minnesota made a run, it's like they made that shot to stop the run, stop the bleeding. So I see a team that's growing up before our eyes, and if they win a championship this year, we could see a new dynasty brewing in the NBA.
SGA got the MVP, Western Conference MVP, might very well end up with a ring here in a couple more weeks. And if that happens, and I don't know, I think a lot of us mentally have a hard time sort of elevating some of the younger guys already to the ranks of the Giannis's and the Jokic's. But if he does pull this entire thing off, do we need to start doing that? Do we start talking about SGA like we talk about some of these other guys?
Yeah, I just think that the hardest thing about, for us as fans of the game, it's kind of hard for us to crown somebody that's not from America as the face of the league. You feel me? Like, we always want somebody that's an American player to be like, okay, this is the face of the league, because we always had that. We had it's the Magic Johnsons of the world, the Larry Birds of the world, the Michael Jordans of the world, the Kobe Bryants, the LeBron James, right? So we always had that kind of American guy that kind of stood on business and was the guy that everybody looked up to be the guy. But to be the best player in the league is SGA. I think that'll be a conversation, only because for some reason every year whichever team wins, when they have one of the best players on their team, they always just automatically is in that conversation. So I don't know if he's the best player in the league, but right now, best current player playing in the league that's still available obviously is him. So I guess for now he could take that crown, but overall, Jokic is a tough cover. Giannis is a tough cover.
Yeah.
I think those guys are 1A, 1B, respectfully, but he's on his way.
You know what, Bobby? Is there like a secret American club y'all whispering behind their backs? Because I feel like, 7 MVPs in a row?
But it's 7 in a row, but it's only 3 guys.
But it doesn't matter. It's still like...
The gap isn't as crazy as it sounds. It's 7 in a row, but it's 3 guys.
Just tell me there's a secret American club.
It'd be different if it was 7 different international guys. That'd be different. So we got to relax a little bit. Yes, we got to have some pride. We got to have the same pride that they got. Yes.
Also, Joel's not American now. We're giving them...
Stop it. Just stop it.
He played on Team USA. He's American.
It. He's not American born. You want to start doing this again?
We got to find somebody that doesn't have tattoos to win, man.
We're not doing that. We ain't
That's
doing
what
that.
it was. All right, fine. Fair enough. All right, last time you were on, we talked about Giannis, whether or not he was going to stay in Milwaukee, and you told us that he hadn't spoken with him, but that he bleeds green. And then, of course, he responds on social media with, don't worry about me. What are you doing, Bobby? Are you staying or leaving? I kind of loved watching that all play out. Where are we on that? Y'all have spoken? What's the latest?
Yeah, man, everything's good. Obviously, that was funny as well, because when he commented on that, he was actually hanging out on Saturday. So I knew he was going to see me. So he was trying to be funny for sure. So, so everything's good, though, man. I like where we're at. Obviously, trying to worry about myself, trying to see if, I can, come back to the Bucks or if they want me, or if I can get, my dividends as well, man. I think I'll play for,
Get your money.
I'll sacrifice as well, man. I took short deals.
Take the floor, Bobby. Plead your case.
I'm just saying, though, I took short deals to stay on the Bucks. I've been here, when guys went out, when Giannis went out with a knee injury, I stepped up. Like, all these things have to, come to fruition. For real, though. Like, I've been in the fold, man. I've been 10 toes down, man. You talking about taking short deals and to stay here to help sacrifice winning, but we here now. So, I'm thankful, I'm blessed, but at the same time, it got to make sense, though.
There it is.
Is there a perfect deal, like, in your brain that exists? Like, I think we all have ideal situations. Like, do you have that?
Yeah, the most money possible.
Shut up, Chandler.
I definitely have it in my brain, but...
I can't say it out loud.
Yeah.
I need them to have it in their brain, too.
Get the most money possible, Bobby.
The dividends need to be looked out after. You guys have any more questions for Bobby?
No, sir.
I'm just kind of laughing about it. I feel you. Bobby, thank you. And I'm so glad we finally got to the root of the art, because that has been here.
Shout out
2
Brooke
weeks.
Lopez, man. Shout out Brooke
Should have known.
Lopez, man.
Should have known it was him.
Shout out Brooke, man. I know you out there somewhere in Disney World or something, man. You know what I'm saying?
Living there.
Having fun, man. Shout out to my OG, Brooke Lopez, man. 17 years, man. You inspire me, man.
That's awesome. Thanks, Bobby. We'll be right back.
Yes, sir. Gotcha.
By the way,
I was.